Oscar Bevis, Fury-Theo TV in association with MTK Global. I'm here today with a two-part interview with a man that many of you will know by the name of Heavy B. However, we're going to start this by just having a little boxing chat and getting to know the man behind the persona. So I want to welcome Colin onto the channel. Colin, thank you for joining me. And how are you finding lockdown at the moment, my man?
Mate, lockdown is, you know what it is? It's like we're all in the same boat. And you know what? To be honest with you, the way I see it is, it's not worth getting depressed about it. It's not worth getting down about it. You might as well appreciate this time while you've got it. Because when the time's not there, you're going to say, well, I wish I'd have done that. I wish I'd have had that time in lockdown and used it more constructively than, worrying or being anxious and stuff like that. I know it's a very trying time for us. But you know what? I think we should try and enjoy it more. A lot of people really live in sort of like worry and misery. And I don't want that. I think we should all lighten up a bit and let's try and, you know what? In adversity, you've got to like laugh in the face of adversity. That's when you have trying times. That's when the laughter is the best medicine.
Well, look, hopefully today, we can make a few people laugh and keep a few people entertained during this telling time. First things first, I don't want to skirt around the edges. Let's jump straight in. Your first boxing memory. Tell us a little bit about how you got into boxing and how you became such a big fan.
My first boxing memory was Frank Joe Bagman, because I was brought up in Tottenham. I'm an Arsenal fan, but I was brought up in Tottenham. So it was in White Hart Lane, 1987. That's my first ever recollection of like a boxing match. That was massive in my area. You could actually hear the cheers from my house in the ground. So that was like, that was like sort of what got me into boxing. Do you know what I mean? And then I walked into St Monica's gym in Hoxton in 1989, and that's it really. Like as soon as I walked in there, the bug just caught me. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, just doing sparring and getting involved in everything and stuff. And I've had a love affair with boxing ever since. The boxing aspect, the training. I love the training as well. Obviously, there needs to be a bit more training. Do you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's like, I still love it. I love everything about it. I love it, all aspects of it. The training, the watching and analysing, everything really. I love it all. I love boxing.
Considering the situation that you're in now, you're bold enough, you're brash enough to call people out on social media. I can imagine that there's some in the ring history there as well from when you were younger.
I think I was about 18 when I first walked into a boxing club, and I said, you know what, it's just and then I didn't have any fights. I had a lot of sparring, and I put down. This is no word of a lie. I put down 3 guys once in one evening in sparring, and that's not a lie. That's the fact. I put them on their ass. I was very tasty. You know what? I was told I could have went all the way. I could have went all the way, as an amateur. To be honest with you, I used to have a lot of scraps and stuff and whatever. But boxing, I love boxing. I've done boxing for wasn't long, for about 6 months at that stage. But, and then it's been on and off all my life. Went down to Don Charles's gym in Finchley, and the likes of Derek Chisora and stuff, and all these guys. I was training with Don Charles gym for about on and off about 15 years. I've known Charles for 20 years. So I knew Derek when Derek was like, when Derek was like really young. I remember when I think he was about 18 and stuff, down in the first Finchley gym. So I said, I've been brought up around boxing. I've been brought up around boxers. I've been brought up around it all my life. I've always been around it. I've always been around the gyms. I've always been around boxers. It's nothing new for me. Do you know what I mean? So this is just, it's my life. I love it. I love talking about boxing. I love talking about old fights. I love talking about everything about it. I just love it. I love the banter. I love the ambience in the gym. The blood, sweat, and tears, man. That's what it's all about. You got to be in it. You got to be in it to understand it. You go to one of these fancy gyms, these pure gyms, but it's not the same as a boxing gym. Boxing gym's got a certain aura about it. Do you know what I mean? The spit and sawdust. I love it.
What do you make of the new age fan that the modernisation of boxing has sort of brought to the sport? Because we always seem to see this sort of locking of heads between the casuals and the hardcores. You'd call yourself a hardcore, I imagine, but it is really the casuals who will buy into the content that you're producing.
for the hardcore boxing people who've been fans for a long time and stuff, it can be. You've got these new age boxing fans who they know it all. They think they know everything about boxing. They've only picked up boxing for the last few years because of Anthony Joshua. The last, like, I don't know, 8 years, and they think they're experts. Casual fans, whatever you want to call them. And to be honest with you, it is frustrating for people who've been a boxing fan all their life. You've got guys all of a sudden think, oh no, they know all about it. It can be frustrating, do you know what I mean? Because you've got a new age of boxing fans who just don't know nothing about boxing. They'll just come into the boxing just because they like a certain fighter, but they know nothing. But they don't actually like research it. They don't actually like, watch the videos, watch the videos like IFL TV or Seconds Out or anything like that. They just some of the stuff you see on social media, they just ain't got a clue. Do you know what I mean? And in the days, like, there are a lot of people out there who are like that. I think there's more casuals than there are actually hardcore boxing fans. I think so. Do you know what I mean? It's all glamorous now. Boxing's brilliant. I love it. It's great. It's bringing new people into the sport. That's great. That's great. But if you want to talk about boxing, a lot of people don't know what they're talking about, and that's a fact. So you know what? Sometimes you've got to have a bit of a thick skin when you are talking to people about boxing, because, like, they think they know it all. They think it's all about, oh yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, knockout, that's it. They think that's boxing. And boxing's hit or not get hit. That's what boxing's about, really. This is boxing. Everyone think, or if it's not a knockout, it's not a good fight. If it's not a knockout, they don't understand the pugilists like Billy Joe Saunders or Tyson Fury or Mayweather. Well, Tyson Fury's a knockout man now, but do you know what I'm trying to say? It's like, and stuff like that. And when AJ was boxing on the outside, they're like, oh no, AJ's returned rubbish now. That's boxing. Boxing, in essence, is hit or not get hit. You look at the amateurs, Sugar Ray Leonard. Look at those type of fighters. It's all, you know what I mean? Like Muhammad Ali, all these guys. You know what I mean? Hit or not get hit. You know what I mean? Like those outside fighters. If you're not an inside fighter, if you're not knocking that man now, into the casuals, you're a shit boxer. And I think it's wrong. Do you know what I mean? Like, everyone likes to see a knockout. Don't get me wrong. It's not great to see a knockout, but that's not. If you don't see a knockout, it doesn't mean it's not a good fight. You got to appreciate the boxing. Appreciate about, everything about it. Do you know what I mean? It's not, do you know what I mean? Just knockouts. It's just this knockout thing is a phenomenon. It makes people, all right, it gets people on the edge of their seats. It gets people, like, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, that's not what it's all about. It's not just what it's all about. It's like fencing. Boxing's like fencing. Boxing is like pugilism, man. It's an art. It's a science. It's a science. There's more to it than crash, bang, wallop. There's more to it than that. Do you know what I mean? But it's like, bam, 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 bam. You know what I mean? Like, I've got skills, bruv. I've got skills, bruv. No. I'm like a fucking mama in my daddy in his prime. Do you know what I mean? No. Bam, 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 bam. Yeah! See what I'm trying to say? Look at those skills, bruv. Woo!
I know someone who's going to be getting that work. I know someone who's going to be getting that work soon. But what I was going to say is, what sort of people would you say over the years have been fighters that you've looked up to, you've enjoyed watching the most? I can tell what sort of guys you're probably going to go for.
Lennox Lewis is a big fan of Lennox Lewis. Do you know what I mean? Like, he was a very rounded fighter. Throughout the years, I was a big Eubanks fan. Funny enough, big Eubanks fan. Eubanks and Nigel Benn. Do you know what I mean? They were great boxers. Was it Hearns? Top Hitman Hearns? Hitman Hearns, the way he was like his levers, he was so powerful. He could box as well, but he was a knockout man as well. You had from this Joe Calzaghe, massive Joe Calzaghe fan. No one would fight him for like 10 years. Do you know what I mean? And
would Calzaghe beat him, Froch?
I like Froch, but Calzaghe was smoking. Calzaghe was just that he was an upper elite. Like the Cobra Froch is elite, but Calzaghe, he had the extra gear. He was upper elite, upper echelon elite. Different level. I'm telling you, man, he would have made it look silly. The way he was with Roy Jones, and he was like, sticking out his tongue and doing all that and this thing. He would have toyed with Froch. Froch is a warrior. Don't get me wrong, he's a warrior, but he hasn't got that. He hasn't got that cheek, that fucking, like, I mean, like Calzaghe's, like, you know what I mean? Like, he'll make him look silly. And I just said, that, I hope Froch fans don't take this the wrong way. But you know what, Kawasaki, man, you're talking about a Hall of Famer, mate, a Hall of Famer. Talking about present fighters, you got Tyson Fury. He's my. I like boxers. A lot of people, a lot of people, as I said, they just go for the knockouts. I like boxing. I like boxing. It's called boxing for a reason. So Billy Joe Saunders is my favourite British boxer out there right now. A lot of people say he's not proven at the highest level, but he hasn't been given chances. So, you know, if you ain't, listen, you can only beat the people who are in front of you. If people don't want to fight you, I mean, so what are you going to do? What are you supposed to do? Now, hopefully with the Canelo, fight will go through. I think Billy Joe Saunders is going to toy with Canelo. I think he's actually going to make him, he's going to play games with him. He's going to play with him, mate. I think when he gets into it, second round, this thing I want to think, you know, he's not all that. Canelo's not all that. Billy Joe Saunders starts dancing around, doing all that stuff and all that. Canelo's going to be like, what the fuck? It's going to be like, whoa, I'm out of my depth there, mate. Imagine Canelo does a couple of them, and Billy Joe Saunders does a couple of them. Canelo's going to be like, going to get frustrated, man. It's going to start going, it's going to lose the plot, mate. It's going to lose the plot. Billy Joe Saunders is very hard to hit. He's the only man on paper who's got the blueprint to beat Canelo. Because Canelo's a bull. And the only type of fighter that can beat a bull is a matador. And he's a matador. Billy Joe Saunders is the king of the matadors. You need to bet the bull. Listen, you can't beat a bull. Canelo's a big bull. You can't come with a bull attitude with Canelo because he'll outbull you. You need the matador will always beat the bull. Or 9 times out of 10, the matador will always beat the bull because they move out the way. They're nimble, move out the way. And when they see that, bam, move out the way. Matador, 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 matador. And then when they come, bam, 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 matador, bam, bam, matador, bam, bam. All night long, all night long, all night long, all night long. That's what I reckon. That's my opinion. You know what I mean?
So you think Billy Joe can do Canelo, but do you think Tyson can beat Deontay in their third fight? Because it does seem like one way or another that Tyson's got his number.
I think, do you know what it is? With the Wilder and the Fury, Wilder doesn't know what Fury's going to come out. He doesn't know, because he's been beating both styles. It's like, what do I come out to? For all we know, Tyson Fury might come out the first style on his back foot. So how does Wilder prepare for Fury? Because he might say, oh, I'm going to prepare to stand toe to toe. And Fury might come out and box him on the back foot because Fury can beat him, but that's on that side also. So when you've got that, when you're beating someone both styles, yeah, gives you more options. And also with boxing fights, you can change your if you're losing in one way, you can change another way. If you're good at that, like Muhammad Ali was good at that, he was good at both. So rope-a-dope is a classic example. If things are going to plan, you've got a plan B. Now, he's got a plan B that has beaten both. He's got a plan A and plan B that has beat Wilder on both occasions. So if all we know, Wilder might just come and surprise everyone and just box on the back foot. I think it depends on what trainer he gets. If he goes back to Ben Davison, we'll know he's going to box on the back foot. So I think that's the best indication you're going to get of how he's going to box is what training he's got. That will give the game away.
Where do you stand on Joshua and Fury? I mean, it's probably the most 50-50 fight in the division. Definitely one, you know, the division needs, and definitely one we need in Britain.
Styles make fights. It's not checkers, it's rock, paper, scissors. Every single fighter is going to present different problems to different fighters. So at the end of the day, just because he beat Wilder doesn't mean he's going to beat Joshua. The fact of the matter, I do think he's going to beat Joshua, but it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be far from easy. I think, you know what, this thing, but you've got to understand this as well. If it's going to be at Wembley Stadium, I guess it's backyard, isn't it? It's his backyard. I know Fury's won a lot of times away, but how many times has Fury boxed in the UK lately? Do you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, that might present problems. But it's Joshua's backyard. He's used to the Wembley Stadium. He's used to fighting there. I don't know if that's going to present any problems. I don't know if that's going to give him an extra. You don't know, do you? You just don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like that might give him an extra lift. And you know what I mean? And days. I know how important support is in football. Football is very, very important, especially when you've got the UK crowd and stuff. And as I said, you've got a lot of fanatical a lot of fanatical casual fans who don't, who are going to be out there full switch for Joshua. So that might play a part. We don't know. But I just think that Fury has got. I'll be honest with you. I think that Joshua has fought better opponents than Fury. I would say he's got better CV. He's got better. Let's not forget that he's got better CV. But Fury's got that confidence. He's got that swagger, and I think that he's. You know what I mean, he's done it. He's done more. He's done more. If it weren't for him, Joshua wouldn't have these belts. Let's not forget that. Fury's been in the bigger fights. He's been in the bigger fights, 100%. Joshua hasn't really had a big man, apart from Dylan White for the British title. He hasn't had a massive opponent yet. He hasn't had that, woo! You know what I mean? Like, he hasn't had that. He hasn't fought a Wilder. He ain't fought a Fury yet. So, but Fury has. And that experience is invaluable. That's the elite fights. He fought Klitschko, elite fights. When Klitschko was there, was you know what I mean? When he was unbeaten, not unbeaten, but when he had the belts. Do you know what I mean? So basically, and no, I never wrote him off. That's an elite fight. Fury Wilder 1, Fury Wilder 2, elite fights. It's been in 3 massive elite fights. Okay, you can say that Joshua Klitschko was an elite fight. You can say that. All right, fair enough. I'll give him that one. But Fury's got the experience in the big nights, I think.
Right, part 2 of this interview, and I'm going to start this very bluntly, Heavy D. Originally on this channel, we got a bit of stick for covering KSI and Logan Paul, which was the first big professional YouTuber fight. But then I think people started to come around and realise why a channel like us would cover it. It has a massive subscriber background for both of the people involved in the fight. Eddie Hearn got involved. There were professional fighters on the undercard. It made sense. But now tell me why a channel like us should give you airtime when you're calling out Sam Jones, when you're calling out James Argent, and why we should almost propose to the people who view our channel as this being something that could be worth watching.
Listen, can I be honest with you? If it's listen to me. If it's a public interest, right? And you know what? And the thing about it is, if people are out there and they're doing this, and they're doing it for charity, and they're making a fair bit for charity, and and stuff like that, it's boxing. It's boxing. It is boxing. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day is, at the end of the day is like it might not be as good as professional, but a lot of the professionals. But at the end of the day, it's still boxing. And the thing about it is, if it's of public interest, then what's the problem? If people are interested in it, they're interested in it because they're watching it on pay-per-view, they're buying tickets to the fights. My last 3 boxing matches have been sold out, so people are interested in the fights. It's only a problem when you're trying to sell something that people don't want. When you're flogging something that people want, what is the problem? People obviously want to see celebrities or YouTubers fighting. They want to see it. And they want to see me smash Sam Jones. They want to see me knock him out because he's got too much of that. All the trap, press conferences, Joe Joyce's mouthpiece. That's all he does is yap. And I want to knock him down, knock him down to size. That's what I want to do. He's got too much trap.
I mean, this thing with you and Sam's actually pretty recent. I think I remember seeing like an exchange between you two on Twitter yesterday where Sam said he could beat you with one hand.
He replied and says that he wants to knock me out one-handed. He wants to fight me one-handed. All that sort of stuff. That's a disrespect. You can't come to a man and say, I want to fight you one-handed. Who does he think I am? What does he think I am? What? Does he see me as like, as not a threat? I'm a threat to the celebrity boxing division. I'm a threat. And you got dickheads like that saying he wants to fight me one-handed. I was like, no, I've got pride. So no, let's come two-handed and let's see what you got. Let's see what you got, because I ain't seen no training videos of him. I ain't seen him sparring. I ain't seen nothing about him. I ain't seen nothing. So no fighting videos. He talks a good game. He's saying he's going to do this, he's going to do that. Listen, man. Listen, I've been in the trenches. I've been in there. 4 fights. 4 celebrity fights. Lewis Bloor didn't go according to plan. Okay. Second one, best entertainer. It was a draw, but he got fitted up. All right, the third one, I won the belt. Third one, fourth one, I don't want to talk about it because he's headbutting me. But at the end of the day, I've had 4 fights. I'm a veteran in this game. I'm an OG in the celebrity boxing. OG. I've earned my stripes, man. All right? I've earned my stripes. And then Sam Jones wants to test me. I'm going to brack him up. I'm going to brack Sam Jones up. I'm telling you that right now. You better believe that. Believe that.
I'll be honest, whenever I see these call outs that you do on social media, I always see the word charity involved. You know, even more so now in the wake of the virus, let's raise money for the NHS. Is that sort of your way of enticing someone like Sam, someone like James to come and fight you?
Listen, I was calling out individuals on because I want to be on the Fury-Theo, John Fury on the card. I want to be part of this NHS fundraiser. So obviously, you know what? You know, at the end of the day, I can say what I say about him, but you know what? He's stepping forward. And that's all that matters. You know what? I need an opponent. He stepped forward, and let's do this. Let's dance. Let's rock and roll, baby. Let's do this. We're doing it for the NHS. We're doing it for good cause. Listen, these NHS, right? They're angels without wings. Yeah. You know, and they're putting their lives at risk. They're on the front line. They're doing so much for us and stuff. And I don't even know why we should be in a position where we have to do these fundraisers, because the government should be providing for this. And whatever way I can do, I can help. If it means me getting in the ring and putting it all on the line in the ring for 6 minutes, who cares, man? It's just a boxing match, man. But listen, these guys, that's the real fight. They're the real warriors. That's the real fight. It's a real big fight we've got out there. It's this coronavirus. So, do you know what, man? I'll put it on the line for 6 minutes. Do you know what I mean? If I can save a few lives or help out the NHS workers in any way, because you know what, that's far more important than a boxing match.
Look, I can tell there's good intention behind this, and I'm not going to knock you because I'm not getting in the ring to do it. But what would you say to those people who would say that the only reason you're doing this is to keep your name relevant?
You can ask about me. I've done so much for charity. I've done so much. I've done so much fights, so much boxing matches. I've done so much charity events. I've done, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, so you should check my history, check, you know, what I do and stuff and whatever. I like boxing. I like boxing matches. If I can, you know, combine, then it's all the better. I like boxing. I like the training aspect of it, and I like the challenge. So you know what? You're always going to get naysayers. You're always going to get haters. You're always going to get negative people out there. And the fact of the matter is, you know what? What are they doing? What are they doing for the NHS? What are they doing for charity? What are they doing? What they do? You know what? I've never seen a hater do more successful than me. It's always for someone to just, you know, sit in their ass and moan and complain on social media, and I ain't got time for that. I don't entertain negativity. It doesn't enter my grey matter. So, you know, people can say what they want, but I'm a doer, not a talker.
To be fair, Heavy D, you have talked, but you know it's got you what you want, because potentially you could have a fight with Sam Jones now. So, you know, you can't blame you for that. And yeah, but what about you and Oz? Is this something that was ever actually going to happen, or has it just been a little back and forth between you guys on social media?
Well, I want to say something about the Arj thing, actually. Arj, I was on the Howard Davis's feed last night, and Arj said to me after I'd announced the fight with that Sam Jones is interested. He was like, "Oh, what about me? I want to fight you." But it was the Arj thing. It's been over a year now, and Howard Davis said something yesterday. He said something very poignant. I said, "Do you know what? Heavy D? I don't think Arj wants it with you. I think he's scared." And I think he's right. So, you know what? A burning hands with two in the bush. Anyone can talk a good game, but it's very difficult to actually get people to step forward. I've got someone, and Sam Jones, who hopefully will put up a good fight, and it'll be a good scrap, and it'll be a good scrap for charity. But Arj, sorry, mate, you're talking waffle, mate. You're just a waffler. You're just like, you know, you're just full of shit. It's not hard to make a fight. If you want to make a fight, it's very easy. But afterwards, after the fact, you start saying, "Oh yeah, I was interested." Nah, mate, too late, mate, too late. You know what I mean? Sorry.
Can you tell us a little bit about this belt that you can see him walking around with? I think when you was last on the channel, you had the belt on your shoulder. For those who don't know, can you tell us a little bit about this celebrity boxing belt?
The belt got robbed off me in December. I got headbutted in a fight. I probably, you know what? Everyone says to me, "Why do you headbutt him back? Two wrongs don't make a right." It's boxing. It's not MMA. And you know what? That's for another time. I don't want to go into that. You know, in the end of the days, that's for another time. Right now, my focus is on Sam Jones right now. That's what my focus. My focus on Sam Jones. My focus is in raising money for the NHS, and you know that's what my focus is right now. And that's not the only belt in the whole world. There's other belts to be won. There's other challenges. There's other titles. I'm going to be around for. Listen, I'm 47 years old. You know what? Everyone's talking about age, about 56 and all that. Let me tell you something right here. I'm only 7 years younger than John Fury. Everyone's talking about his age. Oh, he's 54. I'm 47. I'm only 7 years younger. Age don't mean nothing. Look at me. I'm having a fight every 9 months. You know what I mean? Like, what's the big deal, mate? You know what I mean? I'm still involved. I'm 47 years old, mate. I know I look younger. You know what I mean? Got the old olive oil, the old moisturiser. But the other days, I'm 47 years old, mate, and I'm still at it. So the other days, you know what? If I can inspire someone out there, whatever, to get up to the sofa and do some training and get down the gym and do a white collar, then so be it. At the end of the days, listen to me. When I came out of the Big Brother house when I fought Lewis Bloor, I didn't know. I mean, I've been boxing training this year, but I've never done some sparring. I done sparring when I was like 18, but that was a long time ago. I didn't do no sparring till I was till the Lewis Bloor fight, which was that's about like 3 years ago. So the fact of the matter is, like I started doing the white collar late. And it's a young man's game. Boxing's a young man's game, do you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's just an age. Lewis Bloor 28. I fought him when I was 43. Who cares, mate? Got stuck in. You shake hands afterwards, you move on. It's just a fight. Do you know what I mean? But you know what? You gain respect from each other. And you test yourself. And sometimes, you know what? Sometimes fighting someone who's better than you, you don't lose, you learn. You don't actually lose, you learn. Because you fight someone worse than you, you're not gonna learn nothing, mate. You don't learn nothing from winning. Look, if I fought someone who's absolute dog shit and I beat him, what am I learning? I'm not learning nothing. I'm not trying to be funny. You don't learn nothing. So, do you know what I mean? You always got to test yourself against people who are better than you. You learn, do you know what I mean? Like, you know? And do you know what I mean? Like, you know, hopefully Sam Jones can bring it on the night. But I'm going to whip his ass, boy! So I'm going to whip Sam Jones' ass! Yeah! I'm telling you.
And just finally, Heavy D, before we wrap this up, have you got a message to anyone out there, not just Sam Jones, maybe James Argent or anyone who wants the smoke in 2020?
I am the undisputed king of celebrity boxing. I started this shit. I started it. I started KSI. Check the record right here. I'm the OG, undisputed celebrity boxing champion. Okay?